Welcome to the Tour Junkies Golf Show on the Better Sports Network. DB here, back in the saddle from my quick trip to Chicago last week. Pat, you and Blake, our boy Blake, just did a fantastic job. You broke down your swing. I always love those. It was a great job by you, bud.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Blake didn't roast me as much as I thought he would. He was very polite. Now I'm sure, on maybe another show, he could probably really roast me, but it was good. And I got some good lessons from him and good thoughts as far as his way of teaching. And even got a little Lucas Glover talk in there about his putting. So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, it's a great show. We got another good show in store for today. We're, of course, going to recap last week's action, let Pat victory lap again, possibly talk about, Max Homa's issue with sports bettors. We're going to get into the Ryder Cup discussion. Is that starting to heat up? Obviously, the Tour Championship is this week at Eastlake. And then at the end, Pat, I want to do some fun stuff with you that I didn't tell you about ahead of time about the season that we're coming out of. So
good.
Yeah, but I'm excited about it. Also, we have a big giveaway to announce. I'll announce it. I'll announce it at some point during the show. So pay attention. It's a really big giveaway. You don't want to miss it. But Pat, congrats to you. I did a little season end review, right? The PGA Tour season from the fall of 2022 to this week is, I guess, the final week. But for us, we don't bet a lot this week. For all intents and purposes, in Tour Junkies headquarters, it ends after last week's BMW Championship. And, a lot of people would think, man, DB's just had the worst year ever. Like, he just can't hit an outright. The guy's colder than polar bear's ass. And Pat's just on fire, But before last week, we had hit the same number of outrights in the season. We both hit 5 outrights.
Yeah.
But then you definitely, I'd thrown it out there that I thought it would be crazy if I'd hit the Lucas Glover bet at 90-1 at the St. Jude and then followed it up with another one last week and you didn't, that I would actually surpass you in total units won in outrights this season. But of course, Pat, it was your year. It was your year. You nailed Victor Hovland at 16-1. Now, granted, I wasn't allowed to bet Victor Hovland at 16-1 because he was shorter than 25-1, and my balls are too big to bet a number like that. But you did it, and it's a big win for Team TJ all in all. And bravo to you for finishing the season up nearly 70 units in just outright bets, and that's hitting six winners.
Yeah,
since January.
Well, and you, like you said, you hit 5. And I feel like a lot of that was a congratulatory, tongue-in-cheek kind of deal.
I just want to paint the clear picture. I just want to bring the.
I'm just saying, Now, 2 of my hits were 16-1 Victor Hovland and 14-1 Ricky Fowler. But I did have some longer hits. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I mean,
you had an 80. I think you had a 60, and you had a 50.
Yeah.
Those are great. Those are huge.
Not bad. Chris Kirk was like 35-1 too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some big balls behind those plays. So it was a good season. And listen, last week I was giving you a ton of credit about the Lucas Glover win. I may or may not have mentioned anything about the betting the wheel. I don't know.
Of course, yeah. Listen, I wrote the name on there. Those are names I wanted. So,
but yeah, I tip my cap to my balls.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will not tip my cap to your balls, but I'm grateful for the win. Victor Hovland shooting a 28 on the back 9 at Olympia Fields. Now, I already said I was there. Olympia Fields was not a golf course I saw a 28 coming. Everybody was talking about it. I told everybody from what I was seeing, from what I was hearing from our caddies and our player friends, that obviously the scoring was going to be better than it was the year John Rahm and Dustin Johnson went to the playoff and Rahm won at 4 under. We knew it was going to be softer and more gettable. It's hard to believe that by Sunday, because I think the last rain that came in was Thursday morning. There was no more rain. And that by still late on Sunday afternoon, Victor Hovland shoots a 28. And it was an absolute ball striking clinic. And it just shows the peak that dude can play can play with. And we've already seen it. I mean, we've seen him do his thing. So wins at the Memorial, wins at the BMW, huge for Viktor Hovland. If you missed the PGA Tour's tweet of the Norwegian call, did you see it, Pat?
No, I didn't actually see that.
Do we have it, Tony? Do we have it to play? Or it's hilarious. First of all, I'm like, why do we get stuffy, I mean, not, I guess CBS had, but like we get NBC, you get Paul Azinger being a dipshit, and we get, stuffy McStufferson on the call. And these guys are wearing one dude's wearing like a hoodie. He looks like a Ralph Lauren guy. Another guy looks like he's robbing a bank. He's in all black. He's ready to go. And it was an absolutely electric call. Fantastic call. I didn't understand anything they were saying except he said 60. It was kind of similar, but electric call by the Norwegians. They're just tickled to death at the promise of young Viktor Hovland. Let's Tony says we have it. Pat, you got to see this real quick.
Så skriker det groveste jeg har. Kan det ikke være mulig? Jeg tror liksom at jeg har nådd toppen med denne guttungen. Sjekk det scorekortet det! 28-61 totalt. Hæ?
Nei, altså, jeg blir helt målløs her, altså.
Bare smiler, vet du.
Isn't that great? It's like one guy is he Victor's dad? Who's on the call up there? That guy was so giddy.
I don't know, but then at the beginning, the guy says he wants to yell out some cuss words. I wish he had done it. I don't know. That was great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Victor's gonna be. We'll talk about the Ryder Cup. Victor at the Ryder Cup's obviously going to be a problem. He's a problem no matter where he is, but he's going to be a problem.
I absolutely love Victor, though. I do agree. He's going to be a problem, and that kind of sucks for the Ryder Cup, but he can't play in every single match. So obviously that's good, but he's just such a great dude, and he's always happy.
Yeah.
He's always happy.
Always.
I mean, so
they should pair him with Tyrrell Hatton in the Ryder Cup.
Get Tyrrell to calm down a little bit, smile.
Maybe, or, what's the proverb? Bad company corrupts good morals.
Yeah.
What if Hatton rubs off on Hovland and we see Hovland flick off a hole or something?
Yeah.
That'd be wild. Well, also last week you had Max Homa. Max Homa got heckled by a fan, and this came up in the betting community because the dude said something about I had $3 on you to make that putt or whatever it was. It was literally the worst case scenario for us golf betting tout people. It's something we've been talking about since we started doing this show in 2015. You just can't be that guy. You literally can't be that guy. You give a horrible look and a horrible name to everybody that is in this community that likes to bet on golf, that wants to bet on golf. You allow people in the media who don't like sports betting. You allow legislatures in different states and league officials in different leagues. You give them ammo if they're against it. You give athletes ammo if they're against it. And so it's just a dumb, really, really dumb, low IQ, ding dong, dipshit thing to do. And it pisses me off that these guys did that. Because it's $3, bro. It's $3. It's $3.
Yeah.
And what can we do, Pat? What can, I've seen a couple of tweets or articles go around and nobody really has any great solutions. I mean, you can't. Now the tour did comment today. I saw in Jay Monahan's press conference, he was asked about it and another official commented on it, but that fan was ejected. I mean, they took him right out. I mean, you can't arrest him, right? You can't throw him in the clink for a night. What can you actually do?
What was the actual heckling?
It literally was he yelled something. Wasn't it in the middle of his back or in his back?
Okay, I didn't know if it was in the middle of a stroke or what.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. He just yelled it so loud that everybody could hear it. And it was about $3. And, Max's caddy, Joe, told him to shut the F up. And, it was the whole thing. And Max stared him down and said something to him. I don't know. I just don't know what you could actually do. It's really hard to enforce any sort of rules where that fan wouldn't be allowed back to that event or back to that, or to another tour event with how the tour travels. And it's just a big traveling circus and the courses change every week. And sometimes they don't even go back to the same course every year. It's just not that enforceable. I'm just not really sure. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, producer Tony says, according to Homa, he shouted at Kirk to also leave his 18-foot birdie putt short, then rooted out loud for Homa to yank his 5-foot birdie as he began his stroke. He rolled it into so Homa made it despite that effort. Yikes.
Yeah, see, that's the worst thing is like I mean, things happen on the golf course, and I don't like any of it. Well, you could go because we could go back to, getting the hole guy or Baba Booey guy. All those things, you could equate the same thing with the heckling, but during the stroke, it's just it doesn't matter if it's gambling or not. It's just that's even worse. And so, but I don't know how I mean, there's not really any way you can control it other than kicking them out because you can't control what people are going to say on the golf course.
Yeah.
But it sucks. It's just, it gives, of course, like the legit people that are, because it's going to be more focused on the gambling aspect than it is with the actual like heckling aspect.
Yeah, for sure. It's all going to get run through the filter of those wretched degenerate gamblers.
Yeah.
That's why why it shouldn't be allowed, or that's why it's a problem. It's just such a terrible look.
Yeah, and the Marty Fish thing Tony's bringing up too was the same kind of deal that happened in Tahoe. That was just, I mean, he had a chance to win that golf tournament. So that was pretty bad too. I mean,
so the question is like, if a guy will say that for $3, what can with golf being an event where, for the most part, these guys play it, or the actual swing is made in relative silence. If I've got $10,000 or $100,000, whatever it may be, right? If I've got that on a guy, what am I willing to do to alter the outcome? Right.
That's why I think you probably, I don't know how long it would be until there's this talk that there'll be shot by shot betting.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if if that really comes about because of the fact that one shot can be changed by a lot in golf. I mean, it's so quiet out there anyway. This isn't like an NBA game where there's the crowd kind of drowns out a lot of things anyway. I mean, this is like everybody's quiet. One person yelling can change the entire scope of a hole. So.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds crazy, but let me just throw this out there. If the players agreed to this, if you were a player and in the process of you starting your swing, at any point between you starting your swing and post impact, it was deemed by an official that there was fan interference through yelling.
Oh, a mulligan. We get a redo?
I know that sounds nuts, but seriously, if you have a guy, some drunk guy in a tournament with a large amount of money on the line, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win his bet, and that starts to happen more and more, I just don't know what else you can do. And if the players were to agree to something like that, it sounds bananas. Even me saying it just sounds crazy. It sounds totally anti the game of golf, but this is something that golf's never seen before. But yeah, like some sort of redo.
I think one of the important things you said there would be you'd have to have the officials present to be able to call it, because you couldn't let a player just call it on himself. I mean, or just say, "Oh, there was interference." Like, you would have to have that. But I mean, I don't know. It's not a terrible thought, to be honest. I mean, I don't know else. There's nothing else you could do.
I don't know what else you can do either. Producer Tony has a thought on that. Let's bring him in. What do you think, Tony?
DB, I like that a lot, because golf is what? Golf is the game of honor. You're supposed to call penalties on yourself. You're supposed to do all that. So there's kind of already that built in, guys shouldn't be using this to cheat. Again, the game of honor, that kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like that's a crazy enough idea to work along with, the code, the ethics that's already been built into the game for the past, 200 years. So I don't know. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it like I said, coming out of my mouth, it sounds weird. It sounds crazy to say.
Yeah.
But I think if players were on board with that being the case, and you had independent officials within earshot of every shot taken on tour, you could see a scenario where it happens. Now, then, of course, if Patrick Reed were ever allowed to play again, then Used Golf Facts would be really pissed if somebody farted in the backswing of Patrick and it wasn't called on, but and it was when Jordan pulled it back. I don't know. But and then you have the whole thing of like, well, what if the shot actually ended up turn out being pretty good? Like, do you just let it? Does the player get to choose whether he keeps the shot or he gets to hit it over again? I don't know. It's a crazy thing to think about. Kind of a wild scenario, but it's definitely an issue. One place, Pat, that deals with unruly fans quite well is Augusta National.
Yeah, they do. They do a very good job with that.
And we have an opportunity to, Masters is in our hometown, and we get to do a lot of fun things in Augusta come Masters week. And we've both grown up in Augusta, and we want to give you an opportunity, you and a guest, to come hang out at Augusta with us on Tuesday of Masters week. And all you have to do is check out our friends at SoBet. SoBet is an incredible social betting platform where they've got 50 plus over 50 handicappers who have all been vetted by SoBet as good handicappers with multiple different sports backgrounds. We do golf. There's plenty of football, college football, basketball, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, tennis, everything you can imagine that you can bet on. They've got handicappers for it. SoBet. All these handicappers have been vetted to be decent handicappers, good handicappers, and then they put their picks up. The only thing that you see on SoBet is picks. It's not full of a bunch of other garbage like Twitter or X or whatever it is. And then there's full transparency on the platform. All the picks have to have a unit value associated with it. All the picks have to have logic behind the picks. And then there's transparency whether they win or lose. It's also the home of the exclusive Tour Junkies top 40 round robin every week, which is up over 6 units since April. So you can check out the platform. All you got to do is go to any Tour Junkies podcast. There's a link in the description, either on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Or if you follow us on social media, you can click on our link tree in our bio. You'll see the link there to sign up for SoBet. If you sign up for SoBet, even just for a month and give it a shot, see how you like it for NFL season. College football is about to start too. If you sign up using our link and our code, you're automatically entered. That's all you have to do. And then in November, we're going to pick you to come join us on Tuesday. It's going to be a great day. We're going to have a lot of fun in Augusta. So give it a shot. Check out SoBet, and maybe we'll see you in April. You'll be our guests. It'll be a good time. All right, Pat, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about something really cool that happened in my family over the weekend. We'll talk about some Ryder Cup stuff. Obviously, we'll get into the Tour Championship preview. So stay right here on the Better Sports Network. The Tour Junkies Golf Show is coming right back.
Pat Dorich here, live at the Scott Fishbowl 13 New York City Draft at Tito Murphy's. The first round of the Shake Shack division is underway. If you could believe it, team number 1, you're going to love this, Mike Lipchenko selects Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Miami Dolphins in the 101. An unbelievable, surprising pick here in the 4th spot. From the game day, Scott the King Engel. How does he start his draft? Not with a Seattle Seahawk, but the Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen will lead Scott Engel's team. He's right here. King, what do you think about Josh Allen to start your team?
I didn't think he was actually going to fall to me. The Tua Tagovailoa pick was off the board. Mike said he was going to pivot, so it was just a matter of who's going to fall to me. I just always think about, okay, who's the top guy on my board, who's going to fall to me. But having Josh Allen at 4 proves that every draft has a different flow and you never know what's going to happen.
Bobby Cable's here. Tell us about the Scott Fishbowl charity personally touched your family.
So basically, when I joined the military, when you get called up, you don't necessarily get money right away. It takes 30 days for any money to hit your account. And what I'm telling you is that if it wasn't for people like Scott Fishbowl and Toys for Tots, my family wouldn't have had a Christmas. So stuff like this, I'll Hulk smash somebody for, because without it, my family would legitly not have a Christmas because of it.
Scott Fishbowl at fancycares.org, of course, break the hold. Amazing job for everybody to come out here. And look what we've given ourselves here. A whole Saturday at a New York City bar to ourselves. No family, no job. Some of us are working. But really, fantasy football party here with the best people in New York City together. So congratulations to everybody.
Now back to Tour Junkies.
Damn it! Hit one good fucking iron shot.
I don't think you like that one.
On Better Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Tour Junkies Golf Show on the Better Sports Network. And listen, we're having a lot of fun with our buddies over at Underdog Fantasy. They've got best ball drafts for golf, NFL, and Major League Baseball. Plus, the pick'em contests are a ton of fun. What you guys need to do is head over to Underdog Fantasy, where first-time depositors can get a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code ALARM. Or you can also use code JUNKIES if you want to support us. That's JUNKIES. You can go to fantasyalarm.com/underdog and enter promo code ALARM to get started. We've been having a great time over on Underdog. They've got the largest best ball football draft ever, with $3 million going to first place, $15 million total. In fact, me and Pat did a best ball draft with Lisa Ann, who also hosts a show here on the Better Sports Network. Did a best ball draft with her just last week. She kind of helped educate us. We're a little rusty on the football knowledge with golf being so crazy all summer. So
Yeah.
we're starting to get the cobwebs off and figure it out. Probably going to have some football talk on this show in the fall. More on that maybe at the end of the show. We'll talk through that later. But Pat, I mentioned that something really cool happened over the weekend for me. I think we've got video on it. I was playing golf with my now 13-year-old son, my mini-me. He's just like me. And we were celebrating his birthday, having a little birthday round at our home club at Champions Retreat. We got to number 8 bluff on the bluff course, par 3 downhill. It's a magical hole for my guy. He always hits a good shot on that hole. And, I went on Instagram Live, and then this is what happened. This hole, he's come really close, so we always video it, although this pin is difficult. So it's a 120 shot. I'm also going to play from his tees just for fun. So here we go, 120. Oh, that looks good. Be the number. Go. Go, 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 go. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He made it. He made it. Oh! He made it on live Instagram. Oh, my God. Collins. Oh, my God. He's fast as crap, and I'm going to pull a hammy. He made it. Oh, my God. Collins. I got it on video. That's amazing.
I just for some reason the sound came in better from I've seen it a few times too, which is amazing. But I hear laughing in the background.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah, so there was a group in front of us, and you play that hole a bunch of times. There's that par 5 kind of up the hill and to the right next to us, and they heard the screaming. And so when I got done, when we got to the green, I looked up and the guy's head was poking out. And he's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "He made it." And then I was like,
"Yeah."
Then you heard me say, I almost said I got it on tape. And then, as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, "You dumbass! Nobody gets anything on tape anymore." So I was like, "I got it on video." It was wild. There was a couple of groups in front of us, and they heard all the ruckus. So, dude, I've watched that thing so many times since Saturday, and it does not get old. It could not have been a cooler moment. I've told everybody it's a top 5 moment in my life. I'm married with 3 kids, and honestly, it's probably a top 3 moment.
Oh my goodness!
But I just don't want to piss anybody off.
You don't. You need to just keep it as a top 5. Don't even put an exact number on it.
It was just so cool. And everybody's been like, "DB, have you ever had one?" I'm like, "No." And I know that sucks, but if I go the rest of my life and never have one, I don't care. That was the greatest thing that to happen to him. And we both cried later, like right after that. So after that video, like I ran up to hit my tee shot because I was like, we were still on Instagram Live. And I was like, well, we left our clubs up there. Everything was up there, you know? So we walked back and I'm like, well, let me hit my ball just because. Like,
Yeah.
God, like, who knows? But like, if I were to hit it in two, like, it would be the most ridiculous thing in sports all year, right? Father, son, back to back all at once. Well, I get up there and of course I'm exhausted. My hamstrings tightening up on me. Like I get to the top and my whole lower body just says nah and just stops and everything just rotates left. And I took like a pull draw pitching wedge into the bunker and we just leave it and we get in the cart and we start driving to ring the bell so that that's like lets everybody know the hole in one's happening and it opens the bar tab for an hour. And as we're driving and we're just starting to decompress, like he starts crying, like just tearing up. I start tearing up. And I mean, it was unbelievable, like unbelievable moment. And I think it will, I mean, he already loves golf and enjoys golf, but I think it literally like sealed the deal. If there was ever any concern that he might be like, because he's playing football right now, you know how much he loves basketball. If there was any concern that like maybe he'd put golf down for a little while and he might come back to it or might not, it's gone. Like he's been on cloud nine since Saturday.
That's awesome. That's the thing too. Is always like they say, one shot that'll bring you back as bad as you can play. Well, that one will certainly bring you back. I have one beef. One beef.
Okay.
You went and rung the bell, but did you go back and finish number 9? Did you finish the round?
No, we did not.
That's what I noticed in the video. I saw the whole video, and I was like, they were so excited they forgot to finish the rounds.
No, we just went on. We were done. We were done. I know everybody's gonna be like, what about his score? Okay, so this was one of the things I was gonna say. This is kind of a lesson. He hasn't been able to play a lot. Like he's played with me, as you know, maybe twice a month, maybe 3 times a month. He plays with me. He's not been able to practice. He's not been putting or chipping because he's playing football. Well, we get out there that day, and the first 2 holes, he's bad. Like his putting and chipping is atrocious, and he's everywhere. He's making like 8s and 9s, and his attitude is like this. And on like number 2, I kind of gave him a warning. I was like, look, dude, I don't want to deal with this today. Like, let's just have a good attitude. Let's have fun. No pressure. Yeah. You're playing football right now. You're not.
Sounds like you talking to me during the member guest.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not practicing right now. You need to lower your expectations. We're out here having fun. This is for your birthday. It's me and you. We got music going. Like, just enjoy this. Don't get like that. I gave him a little bit of a warning. Okay. Number 3, he does it again. And he like, dragging clubs and doing all this. And I just lost it. I kind of snapped. And I was like, I get to play golf one day a week. And I put off my buddies, like playing golf with my buddies on a Thursday or Friday to play with you on a Saturday because I'd rather play with you. But this is stressful for me when you're doing all this, and it irritates me and it changes the whole vibe. And I was like, damn it, you either figure it out, or I told him, I said, I will leave you on this golf course. You will walk to the clubhouse and you will sit there till I'm done. And he was like, yes, sir. And he kind of like chilled out a little bit. He kind of got the vibe down. Well, guess what he did the holes after I said that to him? I said that to him on number 3. Number 4, he goes par. Number 5, he goes par. Number 6, he makes a birdie. Number 7, he goes par. Number 8, he doubled. The whole vibe of the round changes, right? And then he plays fine for the rest of the day, and then he gets to that hole and makes the ace. And we were kind of talking about that that night, and I was like, dude, like think about had you had the continue the crappy attitude, and I just left you on the golf, like that had never happened, right?
Yeah.
And it also kind of spoke to me, like, because we can all get all us mid handicappers and high handicappers and low handicapper. We get it's a frustrating game. It can really piss you off at times and frustrate you at times. But sometimes you're closer than you think to like hitting a good shot and turning it around, or hitting the shot, that you'll never forget. This is kind of wild.
I think it's incredible. It was a great moment. I don't know why I thought I was like, man, they didn't finish the last hole. That's the OCD in me. I was like,
Oh God, yeah,
it's funny.
your OCD kicking in there is that would have been on my bingo card for something you would have said.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, it was fantastic, dude. I'm so
Uh.
excited. And I think I'm gonna get I think I'm gonna get some serious cash back from the hole-in-one insurance because there was not a lot of people out there, and the hour bar tab was like sub $200. It was nothing.
Yeah, that's
I got
amazing.
it today. It was like $180 for the whole bar tab for the hour.
Huh.
So I think I should get some cash. I don't know.
Yeah.
And now the question is, do I tell him about it? And if I do tell him about it, how much of it do I give to him? I mean, I pay the dues.
Yeah, I mean, you get you pay the dues, and you had to do the mental coaching out there, so you
Yeah.
should get paid for that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
maybe
you get the shot.
yeah, maybe by the time it's all said and done and you get your cut, he gets $20 or something.
$20 would be an insult. I was kind of thinking, I was like, okay, if I get $1,000 or more, I was thinking like I'll buy him. He's getting into he plays basketball a lot now. He's like got a 10.5 shoe, so I was like, maybe I'll buy him a pair of J's. He's
There
never
you
had
go.
he's never had a
Yeah.
pair of J's. Might buy him a
Yeah.
pair of J's. Also, by the way, like how pure did that sound when he hit it? Like
That was a good, yeah,
that
it was very.
kick? God.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard that sound too much.
Yeah. All right, let's talk Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup's a hot topic, Pat, and I'm just telling you, I'm going ahead right now. I'm pre-pissed. I'm pre-mad. You know how sometimes like women get they do. Sometimes your wife gets like pre-mad at you. You got a
Mhm.
buddies trip. Like actually, Pat, you're about to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
Pat, tell the people what you're doing this weekend.
Oh, I got a buddy's trip. This is for now. Speaking of football, it's for my annual football draft. We go somewhere every year. This year, we're going just outside Charleston to the beach there. So it is. It's going to be fun, and DB is very right. I feel like it was last week though. It's been better this week, but last week I started getting like the pre-mad stuff. So yeah, it's a trip of debauchery. Like it really is.
I think, yeah. I mean, it's not like. I mean, it's just guys being guys. It's not anything like debauchery. Maybe the wrong word. Like tomfoolery, shit showery.
Yeah, yeah. Like we're not doing anything we shouldn't. But it's just there's just a lot going on. Playing the Charleston Muni on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. I hear great things about that golf course. It's supposed to be a Seth Rayner kind of not design, but whatever. What do you call it? Inspired golf course. So
it's like a bunch of 40 and 50-year-old dudes, right? Like white collar dudes. So it's not going to be like
no 50-year-olds. We're all of us are about the same age. We're all mid to early 40s.
So it's not going to be like the Elmo video where he's like with the college kids and he's like doing cocaine and he's hanging from the ceiling fan.
No,
it's not quite like that, but it's
no.
Your wife wouldn't love it, so she's pre-mad at you. Well, I'm pre-mad that Brooks Koepka is going to get left off this team. I think he's going to get left off the team. And it's ridiculous because when you look at the Ryder Cup points, Xander moves in because of the BMW Championship finish. The points are done. So they can't earn points at the Tour Championship this week. So it's done. So the top 6 are locked in. And Xander ekes by Brooks Koepka by 30 points out of 9,450. Xander has 9,450. Brooks Koepka has 9,421. Brooks Koepka has 4 qualified events this year, the majors. And he's going to be off this team. Zach Johnson's not going to put him on the team. There's not going to be any live players on this team. And it pisses me off. I think it's ridiculous. I'm already mad about it. And I'm also somewhat pre-mad because I think Justin Thomas is going to be on the team. And I don't think Justin Thomas should be on the team.
Well, there's a lot of things when it comes to some of this that I disagree with you on, but I totally agree with you here. I think
on both points?
On both points. I think it just really pisses me off for Brooks to not be on this team. I think it sets a bad example in a lot of different ways. For one, he's one of the best players that we have. He should be on the team. Like you said, 4 events. He wins 1 major, finishes second in the other one. I mean, Brooks deserves to be on the team. And so you're just not going to take him because he's a live player. That just makes 0 sense to me. I think it
makes it political instead of
it's petty.
We're picking the best Americans to represent our country in Europe, where we've not won the Ryder Cup since 1993. Zach Johnson was in high school. Look it up. He was 17 the last time the U.S. won the Ryder Cup on European Tour soil. And, you know, I did a video about this yesterday, or one of these days. Maybe it was today. Hell if I know. I did a video about this. When you look at the top 8, no, it was a tweet. When you look at the top 8 players, like if you just project out the top 8 players from both sides, dude, Europe is arguably just as stacked. Like, and arguably, maybe those top 8 are, you could say, are as good or better. I mean, there are some question marks on the U.S. side, and there's always question marks.
I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch.
What, the top 8 thing or the question mark thing?
The top 8 thing,
dude. I mean, where's? Let me pull it up.
I mean, who would you take Bobby Mack over and Yannick Paul and
okay, hold on. See, this is the thing. You're looking at, so they have the whole world points things and the European Tour points things.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay.
Well, I looked at both lists and I projected the top 8. So the top 8, I have Rory, Rahm, Hovland, Fleetwood. This is where it gets in. This is where you have to kind of do both. Hatton, Fitzpatrick, Lowry, and Sepp Straka. Those 8 are going to be on the team.
Yeah.
So when I look at those 8, like, show me where the U.S. is that much better. Now, obviously, depth matters. And I think the next 4 that get on the U.S. team versus the next 4 that get on the European team, I think the U.S. will have a little bit better depth. But currently, the Ryder Cup, the European team is like plus 165 to win. They were 2-1 like a month ago, because I remember doing a tweet about that. Like, damn, this team looks pretty good to be on home soil, and 2-1. Now they've already shortened. I like the plus 165 number. I'm seriously considering firing on that now, because I think it gets shorter.
Yeah, I think where it's going to be interesting is because I think when you do look at it kind of individual versus individual, I feel like the team format, the U.S. should get a lead. But then when you look at some of these like potential individual matchups, that's where the Europeans could come back seriously and win this, which they've done several times, even on our own soil. So, but back to the Brooks talk. I mean, it just Brooks should. I mean, I would much rather have Brooks than a lot of these other players to battle on the individual matchups. I can tell you that, because he's certainly intimidating. And I just don't know if they're going to get this course exactly like we saw in Paris. I really don't. I think that it's because here's another thing people talk about is, all right, well, they're going to tighten the fairways and do all. Well, some of that also takes away the advantage that the European Tour team has. I mean, Rory doesn't hit a ton of fairways. John Rahm misses some fairways. So you can't just completely change it. So, but then with JT, I just make him a co-captain or something. Do that. That's the ceremonial thing that they do with some of these players. Have him in Rome if you want him to be part of a team room, but he's just not playing well right now.
So look at the top. Like, look at the top. Where did it go? Shoot, I just lost it. Hold on. If you look at these players on Europe, Rory, Rahm, and Hovland. First of all, can the U.S. match that top 3 in any combo? Like, okay, Scheffler. Who would you put next?
I would say Scheffler. I'd put Cantlay in there.
Okay,
and then I'd probably. I mean, if you're saying I can't take Brooks,
you can't take Brooks.
If I can't take Brooks, then I would probably I'd put Morikawa in there over Xander, but I think some people may say Xander.
I think I'd put Homa in over both of those guys.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. Is that top 3 better than Rory, Rahm, and Hovland?
No, I don't. I think that's what I was kind of talking about when I was saying if you get into the individual matchups.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, overall strength of the team. So then look at the next 3, like Fleetwood, Hatton, Fitzpatrick. Okay. So now we're looking at Xander, maybe Homa, Morikawa, Ricky to some extent. Like, I would say that's probably equal.
I'd say it's fairly equal.
I just don't think this European team is as bad as people believe it might be, or because we boat raced them 2 years ago, that people think that this is just going to be kind of a walk in the park. And this team looks very different without Brooks Koepka, without Dustin Johnson, without Bryson DeChambeau, and without Justin Thomas, who used to be better than he's playing right now. Like, his team looks very different. Brian Harman. I mean, I'm not saying Brian Harman's whatever, but he's a Bulldog. I hope he does well. But Cam Young's kind of got question marks right now. It's just shaky.
I think it is. I think, though, where you really do kind of look at some of this as the depth portion of it. And you can't have Victor, Rahm, Rory, and Hatton in every single match.
Right.
So you're going to have pairings where it's, Rose and Bobby Mack or something. Or, I mean, I don't know what the pairing is going to be. I don't know. But, Adrian Meronk and somebody, Alex Noren and somebody. Like, those could be the matches that the U.S. wins fairly easily with a deeper squad.
Yeah.
But you get to Sunday and you get to singles, and if you're not that far ahead, they could easily come back and win that. So
yeah. So Justin Thomas, currently the odds market have him at around a 69% implied chance of making it at -225. And the news just dropped that what was it? The news just dropped that he committed to the Fortinet 2 weeks before the Ryder Cup, which, you could take a couple of different angles with that. I mean, you could say, obviously he wants to go ahead and start working on improving his position as he gets into the next calendar year, because he's 70, whatever. What is he, 71 or 72 in the FedEx playoffs? So maybe he wants to do that, or maybe he's just itching to get back out there and find whatever form he wants to. But he's also, he's played the Fortinet before. It's not the first time. He's played it actually 5 other times. He hasn't played it since 2019, but he's played it 5 times. Now, this would be a year, if he's not played it in the last few years, I don't know why he would start playing it now, because it doesn't really count for this season as much as it used to. And you're not falling behind like you used to with the new schedule next year. You're not falling behind if you skip all the fall events. Or is he playing it because he already knows he's going to be on the team, and he knows he's going to need to get some competitive golf in beforehand?
Yeah. I don't know. Aren't they going to announce the team, though, before the Fortinet?
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, did he enter because he already knows that Zach Johnson's going to pick him, and now he just wants to commit so that he can have some competitive golf under his belt?
Yeah, Zach Johnson doesn't really excite me as a captain. I was just going to say that.
I mean, does the captain really? I mean, I don't really care. Like, until Tiger's the captain,
I guess, but
who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it, though, is, I mean, it's still a leader of a team, and he doesn't. I don't know.
I think ZJ commands enough respect. I think he's developed a good enough relationship with probably everybody. He's such a nice guy. We've met him a couple times. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
Obviously an accomplished player for a long time. I think he has the respect of those guys. He's not a super intimidating figure by any means, but neither is Luke Donald. I mean, what? So
No, I mean, both of them, really. It's a very
you're not doing a slap fight ahead of time for a point. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
A Luke Donald, Zach Johnson slap fight, and the winner goes ahead and gets a point. It's kind of handicapped like Eastlake. We start with a point.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Who would win in that, huh?
I think Zach would be a
right?
sneaky slap fighter.
Why do you say sneaky about everybody? Like, what?
I don't know. I think it's because you probably like like he could sneak up on you and pow, 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 pow. All of a sudden.
That's not how it works. You're going to be State's going to go. Yeah, there's nothing sneaky about it. Like, Luke knows.
I know, but
it's coming.
But maybe he does have like a double hit that you don't even know. It's so fast you didn't notice he did a double hit. I don't know.
Maybe maybe it's the Iowa part. It's the Iowa in him. Kind of a corn-fed slap. Corn-fed slapper. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. All right, well, that's enough Ryder Cup talk. We're talking the Tour Championship now, and then we're gonna end this show with a little year-end review, and just remind ourselves of what all happened in the year of golf in this season, 2022, 2023. So Tour Championship this week, Eastlake Golf Club, right down the street from us in Atlanta, Georgia. The top 30 players in the FedEx Cup are there. It's 4 rounds. It's no cut. It's par 70. We know what Eastlake is. We've been doing it for a while, okay? Rory McIlroy's your defending champ. He's dominated here over the last 4 years. Scotty Scheffler's your favorite, though. Remember, it's a staggered start, so it's kind of a handicap start. So Scotty Scheffler is going to start the tournament on Thursday morning at 10 under. Victor Hovland at 8 under. Rory at 7. John Rahm at 6 under. Lucas Glover at 5. Those are your top 5. Then you've got Homa, Cantlay, Harmon, Clark, and Fitzpatrick at 4 under. Fleetwood, Henley, Bradley, Fowler, and Xander at 3 under. Tom Kim, Sung Jae, Finau, Connors, and Siwoo at 2 under. Taylor Moore, Nick Taylor, Adam Schenk, Morikawa, and Day at 1 under. Burns, Griot, Hatton, Spieth, and Straka all at even. So that's what's going to happen. I think the biggest thing that we've learned since we started this, I think in 2019, is that it is extremely unlikely that anyone is going to win this tournament that is starting below Lucas Glover. It just doesn't happen. I mean, and there's some attractive names in there. So there's Max Homa, there's Cantlay, there's some nice names. But if you're betting on the outright winner with the strokes, which you can bet both sides of this market, usually on most books, with or without, it's just not likely to happen. And it's even less likely. I mean, it's also unlikely that, to me, anyone wins not named Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, or Rory McIlroy. I don't think John Rahm has shown us enough lately. He's just kind of off. Like, I just don't know that Rahm is fully in it right now, mentally or whatever's going on. He had a rough time at the BMW last week. He was visibly pissed. He was giving Tyrrell Hatton a run for his money. Lucas Glover is 5 shots behind Scotty Scheffler. I mean, how good Lucas Glover would have to play and how bad Scotty, Hovland, and Rory are going to have to play with a lead on him starting right off the bat is unlikely. I feel like Lucas has had a hell of a run here. He's got to be mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted. He sweats like a damn grizzly bear in a hot sauna. So he's probably lost some weight, some nutrients probably been leaking out of him a little bit over the last few weeks. I saw another picture today of him on the range at Eastlake. He's dying. I mean, it's hot here in Georgia. So I don't think Lucas is happening. So I think it's Rory, Hovland, and Scheffler if you're betting with the strokes. Do you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's going to be very hard for anybody outside of where Lucas is to even contend. And I think once they start to play, I mean, it looks weird with the stagger start and all that kind of stuff, but once they get playing, it starts to settle out and look a little, I guess, better, I would say, but in the end, I mean, you're not going to see anybody, some miraculous comeback from even, when friggin' Scotty Scheffler is 10 under. It's just not going to happen. So.
Yeah. I think if I'm going to bet that board, Rory at plus 330 is the most, it seems to me to be the one. I mean, Hovland's definitely a concern. If Scotty's putter continues to give him problems, then he's basically, starting at even with Rory, giving up 2 shots with the putter. But this is not one of our favorite tournaments to bet. In fact, we usually don't fire on it very much at all. It's just so unique, and it's just kind of weird. Do you have any bets that you really like, Pat?
I have one bet.
Okay.
One outright that I like, and that is without starting strokes.
Okay.
Because
so just 72 hole best score without the starting strokes. That's
72 best hole. Tommy Fleetwood at 25-1, because he won't win anything. They'll get to say he was the 72 hole stroke winner.
Yeah.
He won't get a trophy. He doesn't have to worry about holding a trophy up. He doesn't have to worry about a title. They won't call it his first win on tour or in the U.S. So I think Fleetwood is going to win the 72. He's going to win the 72 hole finish position, or not finish position, but
the outright. How it's worded, like on, for example, DraftKings, it says outright winner without starting strokes.
Yeah,
that's how it's worded. He's 25-1. Has that gotten shorter? I bet that's been hammered.
I mean, it's still 25-1 on DK.
Okay, so it was 25-1 when you first looked at it, though.
Oh, I don't know what it was when I first. I'm just looking at it right now. So
I kind of like that along the same lines without starting strokes. I kind of like Sung Jae 35. Sungjae hasn't won in a long time either. Like, he's a winner on tour, but he hasn't won in a while. But he's playing well, and he's, this is a home game for him. I was kind of thinking about that, like, for guys who are not Lucas Glover, John Rahm, Victor Hovland, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, like, for those guys, this has to be kind of like we made it to East Lake. Like, we're in every major next year. We are locked up. We're going to get paid, but we are glad for the break. Like, okay. Now, don't get me wrong. They still pay out a lot of money in this field. Like, 10th place gets $1 million.
Yeah.
But for these guys, like, I just could see it being kind of one of those. And for Sungjae, he's at least at home because he lives here. He lives in Atlanta, right down the street from the course. He plays and practices at East Lake. So, like, at least he gets to sleep in his own bed. He's got his wife. He's kind of already feeling at home. And, maybe he just goes out and he's comfy and he's driving his own car and he's sleeping in his own bed and he's good. So I could kind of see that at 35-1 again without starting strokes for Sungjae. But other than that, I'm not really all that interested.
Do you think Sungjae has to, like, I feel like he's had like 4 caddies this year, and this is kind of a season-ending event where, you're kind of, like you said, a reward in some ways. And so does he have to split that money with like 4 different caddies?
I don't think I don't think those guys do that with any of those.
I know. I'm just saying. It
Yeah.
just is,
All right. Let's talk a little bit about this. This can't be like a full-on season review, Pat, but I just think it's funny to kind of go back and look. I mean, the tour season just feels so freaking long. It starts in September. It ends in August. Last I checked, that's every month of the year. I guess technically we don't have a tournament in December that we all care about. But now, don't be cheating. Don't be looking at stuff. Are you looking at stuff?
No.
Do you remember who won the Sanderson Farms Championship?
Oh, gosh. Sanderson Farms. I don't know why I want to say Peter Malnati.
That's a great guess.
No, wait. Was it Grillo?
No.
Oh, shit.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Did yes or no? I don't want to say that one. Who won the Zurich Classic, the team event?
Nick Hardy and Davis Riley.
Yes. Did Taylor Montgomery have a win this year?
He did not.
Correct. One of these Canadians did not win on the PGA Tour this year. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Corey Connors, Adam Hadwin, Mackenzie Hughes.
Adam Hadwin.
Correct.
Hughes won something ridiculous. Was it the Sanderson Farms?
Hughes won the Sanderson.
I know Connors won because he won right before the Masters. So.
Yeah, Hughes won the Sanderson Farms. Did Tom Kim have a win this year?
Yes, in the fall.
Correct, he did. He won the Shriners.
Yeah.
Do you remember who won the RSM? We were there. We were there on site. It was the coldest I've ever been on a golf course.
Yes, and now I can't remember because Patrick Rogers was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it?
It was Adam Svensson.
That's right. Damn it.
Yeah. Who won the Sony Open?
Siwoo Kim.
There you go. I was hoping you remember that one.
Yeah.
Who? What tournament did Kurt Kitayama win?
He won the Arnold Palmer.
Very nice. Very nice. Who won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am?
Not Hoagie. He won it before, but it wasn't this year. I don't remember.
Justin Rose.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you remember who won the Corrales Punta Cana?
Nope. I don't remember.
It's one of your favorites, Mr. Matthew Wallace.
Oh yeah, Matt Wallace. How could I forget that?
Yeah. Real quick, how fast can you name the four major winners?
Rahm, Brooks. Wait, where am I here? Rahm, Brooks, Clark, Harmon.
You stumbled there for a minute. Let's see. What else? What else do I have here? Oh, who won the Byron Nelson?
Oh, Jason Day.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Who won the Players?
Scotty Scheffler.
Okay, yeah. I kind of blanked on that one earlier. I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, they did win the Players." What other tournament did Scotty Scheffler win?
He won Waste Management.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. You did pretty good on this. Now, how many tournaments how many tournaments did Tony Finau win this year?
Did he win Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
He won Mexico, and I'd say 2.
Okay.
I don't know what the other one was, but he did win 2.
Very nice. He did win Mexico. He also won the HP Enterprise Houston Open at Memorial Park in the fall.
That's right. Okay.
Yes or no, did Russell Henley win this year on the PGA Tour?
No.
That would be incorrect.
Where did he win?
He won the Worldwide Tech Mayakoba at El Camaleon.
The last one there.
The last one there, yeah. Well, maybe because now with the Live PGA situation, maybe. Yeah, I mean, kind of wild when you look back at tour winners. Just to think about, like, had we said before that, I mean, we talk about this with some of these weird wins that we've seen, but like, had you gone back and said Mackenzie Hughes would win a tournament, I would have been like, oh God, really?
Yeah.
Did you remember that Seamus Power won a tournament this year?
I did, because he won the damn tournament that JT Poston should have won, right? Oh, no, that was a different one.
That was a couple years ago.
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, he won the Butterfield Bermuda in the fall. Obviously, you had a breakout win there for Svensson, I guess. Had you told me Justin Rose was going to win a golf tournament again on the PGA Tour, that would have been interesting.
Well, I think too, like you alluded to it with Taylor Montgomery not winning. If you had just thought about the fall and how well he did in the fall, you would have thought, well, he must have won as long as he stayed in the top, the FedEx Cup standings. But he really was.
He was unbelievable.
Pretty bad though the rest of the year. This season.
Yeah, unbelievable fall, and then just totally dropped off the map for the spring and summer. So yeah, just fun to look back at that. And we're working on a little project with some other bettors and handicappers on kind of lessons learned from the golf season and betting and DFS for the PGA Tour. So stay tuned for some of that. We'll have some more content coming for you. Plenty of Ryder Cup discussion dropping on the Tour Junkies Golf Show over the next couple of weeks. We'll have some other special guests. And of course, we'll be previewing all the fall events of the PGA Tour, starting with the Fortinet in, I think, 2 weeks. So stay right here on the Better Sports Network. Keep checking it out. There's tons of great content here. Don't forget the SoBet contest to come hang out with us during Masters Week on Tuesday. You're going to want to do that, I promise. And check out Underdog. Use promo code Junkies or Alarm for our friends at Fantasy Alarm. So that's it for us. Have a great week. Bend over your bookies. May your screens be green. See you.
Out.